Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday, June 11th in the MLB. We have 6 picks ready for you guys in this video. As always, it's Austin, joined by Logan, recapping how we did yesterday in a frustrating day. A 2 and 3. In reality, it was 2 and 2 1/4. So one of our losers was a quarter unit play. Didn't even lose a quarter unit on the day. Freed cashed his parlay. We had that both 1+ first 5 parlay. The long shot, Logan, man, we missed on the Athletics and Angels game, but there was not a single run scored in the first 5. So I'm not too angry there. Harrison gives up a solo bomb to his final batter. If he had gotten that guy out, he would have been done. And Guardians, there's no more frustrating way to lose a money line than when they lose 1-0. They had great pitching. Offense just did not show up. But look, we're bouncing back today. Feel like we've been right there at the table. We need to bounce back. And it starts actually with a giveaway. Yesterday, we talked about our Dinger Tuesday giveaway. As always, we give away $25 to one person that goes down below and comments a winner. And there was a bunch of winners yesterday. The one we randomly picked out was Colton Payton's life. He said, O'Neal Cruz, finna get a homer. And boy, did he do it. I think it was the 8th inning, his last AB, but he is at a cruise missile. Again, great call there. $25 giveaway winner. Congrats, Colton Payton's life. Go back to your comment yesterday and figure out how we can send you that money. But let's dive into picks. They no more messing around. If you missed last night's NBA video, go tap into that. Game 3 of the NBA Finals, Thunder Pacers, was already posted. We also posted day 3 of the ladder challenge. And in a little bit, we'll be posting a long shot parlays video for game 3 as well, which we got so close to hitting the long shot in game 2. Hopefully we can cash today. Be like plus 1,700 odds. But let's dive in the picks. My first one will be potentially a line in the sand, potentially my last time ever touching this market. Let's talk about Robbie Ray to record a win, which is the yes option at minus 105 on DraftKings. Now, we have taken one record a win prop. It was, I think, Zach Gallen, and he went out there against the Pirates, didn't pitch well, but his team gave him 11 runs of offense, and what happened? They blew a 6-run lead. And if that happens today with Robbie Ray, I will never touch another record a win prop. But I just think this matchup is too good for him. I think he's going to pitch well. And I also think his offense will show up on the other side of the ball against Kyle Freeland. Now, we did take a lefty in Coors Field yesterday. That was Kyle Harrison. He didn't pitch terribly, wasn't very efficient, but didn't pitch terribly. Just gave up 2 solo homers and a RBI single, I believe. But this is Robbie Ray, much better than Kyle Harrison, in my opinion. We've seen Robbie Ray pitch super, super well recently. I mean, it's the guy in May had a 1.38 ERA, pitched well in his only start so far in June. I mean, he's 2.44 ERA and a 1.07 whip. He's been dominant. He's recorded a win in 8 of his 13 starts, so been pretty dang good, and that's been with a offense in the Giants that you never really can count on. I trust him to go out there and pitch well. I know it's Coors Field, but again, it's the Rockies offense. I'm comfortable fading with Robbie Ray, who could go 7 innings, which would give us more time to get some run support for him. His outs line is 18.5, something he's hit in 3 of his last 4. On the other side, one of the real reasons we're here is I love Robbie Ray's matchup, and I hate Kyle Freeland, who has really sucked. I mean, Kyle Freeland has sucked, and he sucked even more at Coors Field this season. 7.71 ERA at home, a 400 batting average allowed at home, and that doesn't even include, I think he has like 10 unearned runs in there. So again, his defense hasn't been helping him out, and his last 6 starts made in Coors Field, 0-4. One of the starts he didn't get an L was it's because his offense showed up for 6+ runs, which I find hard to believe they can do that against Robbie Ray. And again, this Giants offense, are they great? Not necessarily, but you look at Robbie Ray or Kyle Freeland, I mean, boy, they got to him for 3 earned runs in San Francisco. He has a 3.5 earned runs line, a heavily juiced 6.5 hits allowed line. Come on, Giants. We need some offense. I think Robbie Ray holds things down. I like him to record a win. And then before we get to Logan, I have one other prop, a real quick one. Ohtani, love is over in bases today. He has not hit a homer in 8 straight games, and I think that changes today against Randy Vasquez. I'll be on something else in this game, and heck, Shohei wants to kill 2 birds with 1 stone in the first inning. Count me in, but Ohtani, I mean, he has as good of a matchup as you can get. Randy Vasquez. Vasquez has struggled against lefties. 287 batting average to lefties. He does walk lefties. But again, Otani's not a super high walk guy, and getting the guy leadoff walking, you don't really want to see that. I think if there is a guy to walk today, I would probably lean towards Freddie Freeman. But we know sometimes Shohei can strike out, but that's not really Randy Vasquez's game. 2nd percentile in K percentage, 3rd in whiff percentage, 13th in barrel percentage. So again, not striking out guys, you give up a lot of barrels. Well, we all know what Ohtani can do when he gets a barrel on the ball, and we've seen when Ohtani gets 5 or more plate appearances, which I do think there's a chance today. Yesterday, he got pinch hit for because they were trailing, and I feel like he had like a what do they call it? He warmed up for pitching before the game, had like a simulated outing. So I feel like they wanted to give him a little bit of day off today. He's just going to be DHing. He ain't throwing the baseball before the game. I think he gets 5 plate appearances in this season. When he gets 2 or more plate appearances, or 5 or more plate appearances on the road, over this line in 15 of 21 games, over in 67% of games last year. So again, at minus 130, I'll take a chance there. I personally think this should be closer to minus 150. FanDuel has that like minus 170. So Ohtani, he's hitting a homer today in that early-ish afternoon game out in Petco Park. But I'm throwing it to Logan. He's got a pick for the kids. No game pick today. We're going to a pitcher prop, Logan. Who are we rocking tonight?
Yeah, it's no secret that I've been just struggling. I've been struggling this whole week betting baseball. It's been tough. You know what? So I asked Jesus for help. He said, I don't get involved in gambling affairs. And I said, damn, I don't know what to do now. So I'm going to the next best thing. I'm backing Jesus Luzardo over 16.5 outs. Minus 115 odds on DraftKings is your best value. Look, Jesus Luzardo, it's no secret. I mean, just like me, he sucked recently. I mean, his last 2 starts, he's went under this line, and it's not even like a close under. He soared under. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 3 1/3 innings pitched. Terrible outings for Jesus Luzardo. In his last start, I looked at him and I said, man, this guy's a broken pitcher right now. He's so good, but what is going on with him? I am taking a very good chance at a buy low spot for Jesus Luzardo, though, because I'd argue he should be a consistent 17.5 outs line pitcher with a juice on the over. That's not where he is today. He faced the Cubs back in April, went 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and even got the win against the Cubs when he faced them at that end of April start. Now, over the last 3 seasons, Jesus Luzardo has went 6 innings pitched in every start versus the Cubs. Hopefully, he can continue that trend today. So he's seen the Cubs lineup pretty well, even over those last 3 years. Now, if you look at kind of the Cubs side of the things, over the last 10 games, they faced 3 lefty starters. So, I mean, not a huge sample size there, but the 3 lefties that have faced them were Nick Lodolo, Mackenzie Gore, and Tarek Skubal. All 3 of them went at least 6 innings pitched. So the lefties that have seen the Cubs have fared pretty well. And this month, the Cubs are only hitting 207 versus lefties. I actually think Luzardo has a pretty decent matchup here. And look, even with his recent struggles, Luzardo's still 70th percentile or better in all strikeout metrics, and he's still 75th percentile in barrel percentage. He's not getting barreled up consistently. Now, the problem with Jesus Luzardo recently is his pitches are just finding too much of the plate. This is a guy that lives edge to edge. He wants to throw, in on righties. He wants to live out on the edges. The problem is he's throwing right down the middle. And when you're throwing right down the middle, those will get hit hard. He's allowed 9 and 12 hits in back-to-back starts. So again, that's not acceptable. You will not make it far into the game allowing that many hits. But his 5.5 hits allowed line today is plus 120 on the over, meaning the books are setting that line a little bit. They have to set it at 5.5 because 4.5 for better pitchers. But I really do think this is a buy low spot for him, especially if you look at what happened yesterday. The Phillies only got 4 1/3 innings pitched from Mick Abel, which is a disappointing. Of course, they wanted him to at least go 5. So their bullpen enters this game taxed. I think even if Luzardo does have maybe a mediocre start, they might leave him in just to eat innings, try to get 6 innings pitched. I know how the Phillies manager works. I know how Rob Thompson works. He wants those guys to go 6. He's not the type of guy to normally pull them, just facing, if he's like just in the first out of the 6th inning, they're going to try to get him 6. And that's what I think Luzardo gets today. I think he has a little bit of a bounce back outing here. And I like his over and outs today as my favorite pick of the day. But Austin, you got some more picks. Where are you going?
Yeah, I love the pick. I mean, touching back on Rob Thompson, that man will run his starter into the ground. I mean, heck, he even left Luzardo out there to give up 12 earned runs. So again, if he's willing to do that, hopefully Luzardo can only not give up 12, but I think he can go out there and pitch well back at home. Hopefully he's figured some things out over his last start to this one. Let's end with the video with some both 1+ parlays, and then we'll end with a little bit of a long shot. Let's talk about the first one that I really like, and this will be the we have the Dodgers and Padres and Red Sox and Rays, both to score 1+ in the first 5. We've done really well on these, so close to the plus 500 winner yesterday. We just couldn't get any runs in that Angels and A's game. We'll be going back to the scene of the crime in a second. But I love this match. These are two of my favorite games where we're going to see runs early and often. The Rays came through yesterday in that game at the top of the 5th against Giolito. I like their matchup even better today. The Dodgers did not score in the first 5 against Dylan Cease. However, as I've already touched on with Randy Vasquez, I think the matchup is just as good as you can get. And then on the other side, I think Ohtani might even send a nuke in that first inning. They'll score against Randy Vasquez, and then they're starting Justin Robleski, who has really sucked. He has been pretty bad on the road in his career. So I trust the Padres, trust the Dodgers, both those offenses at least get us one. Then we go to the Rays and Red Sox, where we'll have Walker Buehler taking on Zach Lytle. Lytell's coming in here with a 6.5 hits allowed line. He has struggled, and he gives up runs. He's maybe not going to give up 6 earned runs, but he will give up some runs. In fact, 2 earned runs allowed in 7 of his last 9. So again, he pitched. I just see him giving up some runs. He gets tagged by both sides of the plate. And then Walker Buehler, 5 earned runs in back-to-back starts. He's pitched better at home this year, but again, this is a Rays offense. It didn't do a whole lot yesterday against Giolito, but they had 5 balls with a 105 mile per hour exit velo that were out. That's not going to happen all too often. I trust these 4 offenses in their matchups to all score 1 in the first 5, -123 on DraftKings. Hate all those 4 pitchers. Love all 4 offenses. That is a recipe for a winner, just like we did yesterday with our bigger 1-unit play. Was an easy winner. I think all those teams scored within the second inning. As for my second one, we have a second one today because we've been so good on them. We got to go to things that are paying. It's the Tigers and Orioles, and it's the A's and Angels. All the score in the first 5. Just 1 run. We don't need 3 runs from each team. Just 1 run. -112 on BetMGM. This is, I think, -115 on DraftKings. I have it in my notes. -115 on DraftKings. Again, you can bet this on BetMGM and DraftKings, which is fine. Fine. Why I'm cool playing this out there for you guys because it's available in books that are in a ton of different states. Again, if you maybe only bet on FanDuel, you can take, an alt over in the first 5, and that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Maybe like a 2.5 kind of thing. And I think you'll get some runs in that one. I mean, heck, yesterday's probably would have paid because not in the Angels game, but either way. In that Dodgers game, for example, that would have paid, but the Dodgers both 1+ wouldn't have paid. All right, enough me yapping. In the Tigers and Orioles game, we have Casey Mize versus Zach Eflin. Mize has been good this season, but has been starting to struggle, as we would know from that when we took the first 5 under in his last start. He has been struggling finding the zone, and been struggling with the soft contact. And this is a team in the O's that we know at righties again at home, they can do things to him. He's allowed 2 runs in 3 straight starts. I'll trust the O's who didn't get anything going yesterday on the, opener plus Sawyer Gibson long. Still got us the 1 run we needed for the long shot. I trust they can get us 1 run, Stan Casey Mize. Zach Eflin has been good, but he'll give up plenty of hits. That's what he does. And we know this as a Tigers offense can put up runs. So again, this is just Eflin. He doesn't strike out guys. The Tigers will know strikes are coming. I think they could plant one under the bleachers, but at the end of the day, I trust both those 2 offenses. And then we get to the Athletics versus Angels, back to the scene of the crime. If they can't score today, I'm afraid they might never be able to score because today we have JP Sears taking on Kyle Hendricks. JP Sears has a 3.5 earned runs line. You got to be pretty dang bad to get a 3.5 earned runs line. If this Angels offense can't score 1 on him, I don't know if they ever will score again. As for the Athletics, they've looked bad so far through the series. Kikuchi cooked them. Jose Soriano cooked them. But those are 2 guys with elite swing and miss. Here comes the professor and Kyle Hendricks, who is first percentile in whiff percentage. So again, Hendricks 3 earned runs or more in 6 straight starts. We only need 1 here. I think the Athletics offense, if they're ever going to get going, it would be here. So again, I love all 4 of these offenses: Tigers, Orioles, Athletics, Angels, all 4 to score in the first 5 innings. Hopefully you've been enjoying these parlays because they've been paying for us. We need to do anything that'll pay. 1 unit -112 on BetMGM. And then the final play of the day should be no surprise. We're taking all 4 of them, combining them together. It's +240 on DraftKings. It's +238 on BetMGM. So again, you might be able to throw a boost on that if you have one. I won't track a boost towards the record, but at +240, I'll sprinkle a 1/4 unit on it. I'm not going too crazy. I like it enough for a half unit, but I don't want to put a half unit and then have 2.5 units risked on these. So again, just the 1/4 unit here at +240. We technically cashed 4 yesterday. We just lost on that Athletics and Angels one, but let's hope we can cash that. I mean, we'll know probably by the start of the NBA Finals if we have cashed that parlay, and hopefully we can lead that into a great NBA Finals game. So +240 on that bad boy. But speaking of the NBA Finals, if you want to check out my 2 videos, we have the best bets video. We have day 3 of the ladder challenge. Later on today, we'll have a long shot video, which will be posted probably around 10 a.m. You can go tap into that with 3 long shot parlays for the game 3 of the finals. Go do that. Logan, let's have a great day. I'm not going to recap all the picks. You can go back in the video and check them out if you want to. Again, congrats to Colton and Peyton's Life for the $25 Dinger Tuesday giveaway. And it's Austin Logan. We're signing out. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. If we go 6-0 today, I'll do a $100 giveaway tomorrow. 6-0. Just subscribe and like. Let's have a day. See you tomorrow. Peace.